Yo, what's happening with you? We in the building again, y'all, man. Giving y'all a good one tonight. Uh the space show, man. Got my dog Anthony Bowman in here, man.
Yo.
What's going on, Anthony?
Chilling, old boy. What's happening with you?
Man, ain't nothing, man. Trying to keep it together. You know what I'm saying?
Chilling, old boy. What's happening with you?
Oh, hold on. Oh, damn. Turn that off. You can hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, man. Nah, man. Shoot, just been a smooth week so far, man. We had a good show yesterday. And we right back at him again today, man. Hit him with some more of that space age. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I'm gonna shout some people in the chat real quick. Miss Lisa, I see you in the building as always. Got my boy Cedric Ortega. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Juju. Jolanda might be in. She might be in today. We'll see if she get in or not. And everybody else on the pseudo killers that's checking in on us.
Yeah, peace, everybody. Appreciate y'all coming through.
Yes, indeed.
As always. Appreciate it.
Yes, indeed. How your week been, man? We get the people some time to get in real quick.
Oh man, it's moving in slow motion, but it's moving. Still dealing with a lot, but pushing through.
True indeed.
Real life ain't no joke, dog.
Man, who you telling, man? I know you. Hey, you're a strong man, boy. I ain't gonna lie, man.
Coming up on 6 months, dog. The 19th will be 6 months.
Yeah, take some strength to deal with that, man, for real.
Yeah. But other than that, man, just pushing through, dog. Pushing through like everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
indeed.
Ain't
no different from nobody else. Just pushing through.
Yes, indeed.
I don't know what happened to Gary. He fell off.
Yeah, he was in here for a second, man. He done ran on. What's up, Chill in the building. I see you, big dog.
Yeah, peace, man. Chill. My good sister Juju, peace to you. Miss Lisa said, yeah. Appreciate y'all coming through.
Yeah, ever since that JWST, ever since that telescope dropped, man, hey, we've been getting some good information back from it, man.
Yeah, man. It's the web pretty deep. And it's a lot, like you say, it's a lot of information out there. They writing papers and submitting stuff, you know what I'm saying, every day.
Yes, indeed.
Like this article we got, the paper was submitted back, last year in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But you can't rush science, dog. You got to take your time. Science gonna make you slow down.
Man, you gotta slow down. You gotta go back to the basics. You gotta reread something refreshing. And this man, we ain't no experts, so it's not like we study this, as a career, but we do look at something. I know you look at it all the time. You look at it way more than me. But even for us to understand it, man, it take knowing a whole lot about it, a whole lot about the basics of the discussion before you even get to the up-to-date information, like the new information that's coming out.
Yeah, man. It's like you say, far from an expert, dog. Yeah. More like not more like, but enthusiast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We love science, dog.
Yes, indeed.
For me, that's the only way I can get an understanding. And, I got to dig. It's one thing about when you're dealing with science, dog, you got to put in some work.
Yes, indeed.
You know what I'm saying? And it ain't easy. You got to be able to see things from different perspectives and all of that.
Right.
What's that you got there, Miss Lisa?
She said, where do we find all of this? I'm guessing she talking about the article.
Yeah.
Speaking of.
Well, this particular article here came from but I get updates from a lot of different, science outlets on my phone. So it's like anything, you know, like if you enjoy cooking, you know what I'm saying? That's what you into. And if you look at it on YouTube, that's in your algorithm. They're gonna send you a lot of cooking videos. You know, it's the same way with this. But the thing about this, you have to be able to sort through the information.
Right.
Because, and Gary can attest to this, he was just telling us, we was talking about a phenomenon that's taking place in going on right now with the Milky Way. But he got the information through Billy Carson. You know what I'm saying? So he mixing real science in with the pseudoism. You know what I'm saying? Gary on here, he could tell you about it.
What's going on, man? Yeah, shout introducing Gary Barrick in the building. The last to walk, you know what I'm saying? What's going on, brother?
What's everyone? Peace to the channel and the chat.
Yep. How your day going, man? You all right? I know you
Oh
say you
yeah,
on the grill, man. You out there
yeah,
barbecue.
doing good, man. That's what I do, man. Grilling and then getting ready to go to the gym later on tonight, man.
I feel you on that.
I try to work out as much as I can, man. I'm 50, so I gotta stay in shape, man.
Yeah, all day. Health is wealth, man. We what you were saying earlier about the you said the we was about to collide with uh um uh a dwarf galaxy or something like that, right?
Yeah, so we actually are currently colliding with it's called the Sagittarius dwarf star system. That the two galaxies are colliding with each other.
Got you. Okay. Yeah, I always heard about the Andromeda. I always heard about us colliding with that one, but this was the first time I've heard of the we said the name of it was again, the Sagittarius.
Sagittarius dwarf system.
Yeah, that's the first time I've heard of that one. Let me see if I can pull up a picture of it though. But go ahead, Ant. We could jump right in if you want.
Yeah, it's basically, this is what this article is, you know, talking about, dwarf galaxies. And we are actually in the act of merging with one right now as we speak, like Gary just mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
And they get all this information from satellites that, you know, they have two of them. Hipparchus was the first one. And then they upgraded the technology and used one made Gaia. It's GAIA. And what it does is it maps individual stars. So a bunch of them, you know, y'all can look into it. But that's how they know, based off the motion of all these stars that they've been studying for years, you know, that's how they know that we are actually merging, because those stars are moving in an unfamiliar pattern with the rest of the stars that belong to the Milky Way, and their compositions are different. So that was kind of interesting to me, you know, based on this article, speaking of how important those dwarf galaxies were early in the universe's history. So I think that was pretty dope.
Word. Yeah, I'm gonna look into that some more, man. Find out about that. Like I said, that was new information for me, man. But I know you want me to share that article so they can read along with us, or I mean not read along with us, but at least know where you was at with the what the show was about. Want me to put that in the chat? You muted, bro.
Now, I'm sorry, what'd you say? You were breaking up on me.
When I was saying you want me to go ahead and put that article in the chat that that we
Oh
about to
yeah,
post.
you can throw it in the chat. Yeah, anybody want to check it out? But it's,
Matter,
you know, we're talking about the reionization of the universe. So
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, you got it, man. Go ahead and get it in, man.
Well, did you want to put something on that, Gary? Then I can, or either I can, I can run through it real quick. Yeah.
You muted Gary. I don't know if you're talking or not.
Well, basically,
Right.
what the article is speaking on is, we know that the first billion years of the
Hello?
cosmos.
Oh,
Yeah,
there you
you
go.
there,
Yeah,
Gary?
sorry, man. My phone likes to kick me out, and if I don't have it just a certain right, it messes me up. But yeah, so there was so back in the earlier universe, they produced ionizing photons that had transformed neutral hydrogen into ionized plasma during the cosmic reionization. And after the Big Bang, space was just this hot, dense fog, and photons were scattered off free electrons, making the universe dark. And after uh, 300,000 years, protons and electrons came together to form that neutral hydrogen. And then, like 1 billion years after the Big Bang, the universe was reionized by these dwarf galaxies, and like they were the reasons why you could see like they lit up the galaxy.
Hold on, hold on. Miss Lisa had a quick question for y'all, real quick. My bad. I meant to put it up there earlier. She was
Yeah,
saying.
I see it.
She said,
You
"Oh,
know,
so when,
man,
let me read it real quick." She said, "So when it merges with Earth, how do we react to the merging? Will we feel it?"
we won't ever know. The stars is just too much space in between, so you won't have anything that's basically hitting each other or anything like that. They too far apart. Like the closest star to us is like 4 light years away. You know what I'm saying? So you can fit a lot of stars in a 4 light year length, that distance. So there won't be an effect. We won't feel it. Just like, I mean, it's going on right now. We have no clue about it. You know what I'm saying? So
And that's a good thing,
yeah,
because if they were close enough to affect us, like we
Oh
like
yeah,
that
we
would be
fry up.
that would be the end of us.
Right.
yeah, that wouldn't be good because
Yeah. Yeah, like
if
imagine. Go ahead. Go
nah,
ahead.
my bad. Go ahead, Kent.
I was just saying, imagine another sun in our solar system. That wouldn't. That
No,
would
it's
be.
gonna mess everything up. The
Yeah.
gravitational balance that we have now is what we evolved to live in
Right.
here on Earth. The position where Earth sits around the sun, what we call the habitable zone, that's what we evolved to live in.
Mm-hmm.
If something that massive comes that close to us, it's over with. Everything throwed off.
The
You know
gravity,
what
the
I'm saying?
gravity off. Planet's gonna start. Yeah.
Hey, we'll have to come up with some new laws and stuff. You know.
Now, well, I wouldn't say new law, but it would definitely mess up our solar system's system.
Yeah. I mean, new laws is pushing it, but you know what I'm saying. It'll take it. Things will change.
Yes.
That's for sure. Things would
Yeah,
change, and
In other
we
words, we
probably wouldn't
did.
survive.
In other words, we did.
Yeah,
and unfortunately, currently, with the use of chemical rockets, we have no way to get off this planet. They talk about maybe going to Mars and whatever, but until they figure out a way to travel distances without using chemical rockets, it's just not happening. So we can't even go to another planet or somewhere else. Like we're stuck here.
yeah. It ain't happening no time soon. That's for sure. Not in our lifetime, unless they somewhere underground, somewhere developing something and ain't told nobody. But I doubt that.
Man.
I doubt that. So
Yeah.
yeah, we stuck right here for now. But yeah, Miss Lisa, it's it'll never, it won't happen. You know, well, I ain't gonna say never, but the chances of something coming from one of these mergers actually affecting us are very slim. I ain't gonna say impossible, but they're very slim.
Yeah, I think
But these, as far as this study goes, those dwarf galaxies that reionize the, you know, the early cosmos, it's basically turning the lights on, you know, and it was those dwarf galaxies are really, they think, the link to the larger galaxies, because you find so many mergers. And I want to say it got over like 60 different globular clusters that they can count in our galaxy alone. And a lot of them come from those dwarf galaxies, because you have some dwarf galaxies that are only made up of globular clusters. And then there's one, Omega Centauri, which is in our Milky Way. It's the largest globular cluster that we know of so far, you know, that's been found in the Milky Way. And it's, some people think it's the core of one of those dwarf galaxies. And it's a very important globular cluster because they think they found the elusive intermediate mass black hole in that dwarf galaxy, I mean, in that globular cluster. So it's a lot of studies still going, but they're very old. Those globular clusters are very old, just as old as those dwarf galaxies, because a lot of them made up those dwarf galaxies. So it's pretty exciting for me anyway, because I love, you know, stars.
So globular clusters and dwarf galaxies are kind of about the same.
No,
Okay.
their globular clusters are much smaller. They're a tightly packed group of stars, and I'm talking about a bunch of them. It could be from tens of thousands to millions of stars that are all gravitationally bound to each other. So they look like a tight ball, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And what makes them so unique is the age and the compositions of the stars that makes them up. You know,
Gotcha.
you got globular clusters with stars in them that are 13 billion years old. Well, the universe ain't but 14.
Right.
And some change.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the link between the dwarf galaxies being able to reionize the universe, because you got, like I say, some dwarf galaxies, they're made up of nothing but globular clusters. You know, it ain't that many open clusters or field stars. You know, when you have a field star, that's like you see one star by itself, like our sun. It's a field star. Because, like I say, the closest star to us is 4 light years away.
Right.
And so that's very far. Well,
that's
in a
Sagittarius
globular
A, right?
cluster, you might have 1 million stars in maybe 100 light year span. That's a lot of stars for, you know, in that area. So that's, you know, that's what makes the dwarf galaxies, you know, important, is because those globular clusters that they contain. Like I say, we get a lot of information from the globular clusters.
Miss
And I also wanted to,
go ahead, Gary.
no, I just also wanted to say that James Webb, you know, telescope, we've learned so much from that, and that's been something that has contributed greatly to what scientists knows about the universe, because they also found out that, like, black holes they thought didn't form and occur until way later in the universe. But because of the telescope, they found a certain region in space where black holes had formed, like during the early part of the universe, and they would have never known stuff like that.
Mm. Miss Lisa asks, she said, Anthony, didn't you and Juju do a show on dwarf clusters or nebulas?
We did a show on nebulas. We didn't really go deep into dwarf clusters. I mean, dwarf galaxies, but we did talk about, you know, different star clusters, the open cluster and the globular clusters. But the dwarf galaxies are different. They're bigger than just a single globular cluster. Like you have some dwarf galaxies that are, you know, like I said, consist of mostly globular clusters. You know, there's a few field stars, but there's a lot of globular clusters. And those globular clusters, when we talked about them, they're part of the cosmic distance ladder. They use globular clusters to measure distances in space to other galaxies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's one importance of them. And that's because there's so many stars packed into such a small area. And the majority of those stars, they have the same chemical makeup, the same age, you know, so they're a good, you know, actually they do use them to measure distances in space to other galaxies and stuff. So they're very important, but they're nowhere near the size of a dwarf galaxy. You know, the dwarf galaxy contains globular clusters.
Right.
Now, the one I was talking about, Omega Centauri, some people think, and like I say, the jury's still out on this, so this is not in concrete, but some people think because of its chemical makeup and the size of it, it could be the core of a dwarf galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a little different. You know, it's the dwarf galaxy itself is much bigger than the globular cluster.
I'm trying to find a comparison, like a picture we can show them a comparison of. I'll find it. But I'm about to say that cosmic distance ladder. We talked about that with Dr. Farrar, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
How they I don't know if did y'all do a show on that one too as well, or I can't remember.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit, but it was mostly me and Juju. We did a few shows on it, me, Juju, and Gary.
Right. On how to find the distance, right?
Yeah. How you use the parallax and, you know, all that good stuff. Yeah, I'll go back through the archives and check that out.
Shit, even I remember I knew a good bit about it, and I kind of stepped off for a little bit, but I got a refreshing on that one too. I got to refresh myself on that one.
Yeah, I know we did at least 2 or 3 videos, but we didn't finish up. There was like, I think 2 more or 1 more we were going to do, but stuff came up and we didn't get to finish the final ladder because we went through the certain steps on the ladder. I think we got through like the first 2 or 3 steps.
Well, no, we did. When we got to the last rung, which was the red shift, you know, that's when we had Dr. Farrar, and he broke down the red shift for us. So that was the last rung on the ladder, is the red shift.
Okay. I just remembered the only one I remembered with Dr. Farrar was when I got to talk to him about the black holes and stuff. So I must have missed that
last show. That's the one we did, I think back in July, maybe right before the 4th of July or around the 4th of July sometime. Yeah, we were on the black holes. But on a previous show, that's when he came on and broke down, you know, the red shift and a lot of that, you know, the really technical stuff. He came on and broke that down for us. I believe you was on there though, Gary. If I'm not mistaken, you was on there. You was on there with us.
Yeah, that was the only one that I was on. I talked to Dr. Farrar regarding the black holes. That was the only one that I talked to him. If he was on and you guys talked about that last rung on the redshift, I must have not been around or missed that one because as far as I remember, we were almost to the last one, but we never did the final one. But like I said, I guess I must have been gone for that last one. But hopefully, I don't know. I know he was busy or he was free during the summer, and we didn't get a chance to have him come back on. But it would be cool if we could get him to come back on a show and talk more about black holes.
Well, we got him in July, but he was doing some moving and stuff, so he had some other stuff going on. But I hadn't heard from him since the last time I reached out to him. I need to reach out to him again. I hadn't heard from him. I didn't hear, but that was like school was just starting then, so I figured he had a lot going on. But yeah, I hit him up and see what's cracking.
Yes, indeed.
But yeah, that's pretty much, it as far as this article goes. It's just the fact that it's the dwarf galaxies that they believe are mainly responsible for reionizing the universe, are basically turning the lights on to where we can actually see what's happening. It's a lot going on in the time what they call the cosmic dark ages. It's just that we can't see it. There's no light, able to penetrate. The only thing we can pick up is the CMB, which goes back, to 300,000 to 400,000 years after the Big Bang. But between that and a billion years, we can't see anything.
Right. You talking about this period? I got the picture on the screen. You talking about the period around right up in here with it, the
We
dark
can't see
ages.
nothing what's going on.
And that was for about 400 million years after the Big Bang, right? Well, between 370. Go ahead.
The first light would be the afterglow, what they call the afterglow. That's the CMB.
Right.
So that's not like you can get a telescope and see the CMB. No, that's not visible light. You know what I'm saying? That's radiation.
Right.
But we can detect it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that time in between the cosmic microwave background and a billion years, that's how long it took for us to get some visible light that we can, see with a telescope or
right.
But it takes
in that spectrum.
Yeah, in the electromagnetic spectrum.
Right.
Or the visible part of it.
Right. That we can see.
I'm saying?
Right.
You can get some what is it? With the red shift, you can pick up that it's not X-rays. Damn, I can't think what it is. But
microwave?
Radio waves.
Radio, okay.
I think it's radio waves. Microwave, yeah. It's that long end of the spectrum.
Matter of fact, I'll pull up the light spectrum real quick. Hold on. Go ahead, you can go.
Yeah, in the article that the study came out of Paris, and they said it was a billion years after the Big Bang is when it all lit up.
Yeah. It's in between that 375 and the 1 billion that we can't detect anything. Is after that billion, which that time period is what you see on there. That's what they call the cosmic dark ages. And then from the expansion of the universe and the cooling allowed us to be able to plus the high energy coming from the dwarf galaxies, stripping those electrons from those atoms, producing that light. That took place after a billion years. So it's those dwarf galaxies they're thinking is responsible for that. They used to say it was the population 3 stars, 1 star. But now they figured out, it's a group of those, population 3 stars or whatever the case may be.
Right. Hold on, I got the other picture. this isn't the what's the name, but that's another one to kind of explain that the reionization era.
Yeah. Let me see. What up to with your Sosa? Peace to you, bro. Appreciate you coming
So,
through.
what's up, Sos?
But yeah, that reionization, that was, like I say, we can see things happen. We can see galaxies forming, merging together, all these dwarf galaxies. And if I'm not mistaken, Webb has found way more dwarf galaxies than what was expected in the early universe. So, dude, we don't know nothing. You know,
At the end of the day, right?
bro. You know what they say when it's way more to know than what you think you know about something. You know what I'm saying? And if you just look at that picture in the background, man, look at all them galaxies, dog.
Crazy. Crazy, yo.
And that's a little small part of the sky, man. This picture came from Webb, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, James Webb Telescope.
Yeah. Look at all them galaxies, man. Look at that. That is crazy.
It's a small slither.
It just lets you know. It just lets you know how small we are, in the universe.
Yep.
We're a pixel on a screen, not even that.
Not even a pixel. They say we a speck of dust, man. It's like, yo.
Man, you wouldn't even be able to find Earth in this picture.
Straight up.
It wouldn't even, I mean, if you put Earth to scale of what you're looking at, you can't even find Earth on here. I mean, you got whole galaxies, you know what I'm saying? This whole page is full of galaxies. You got one star in the middle. That was the calibration star. So I don't know how close the nearest star is to that star there, but you see way more galaxies than you see stars, dog.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, it don't make no sense, man. Hold on.
Yeah, that's wild. So it's a lot going on out there, a whole lot, and we're just scratching the surface. It's a lot to know about the universe, a whole lot that we don't know.
And that's just considering that there's just one universe. Try when you wrap your head around the multiverse, theory. Then it's just mind blowing when you think like literally like every possibility that could ever happen somewhere out there is happening.
Yeah, it's crazy. Who that? Peace to you, Lamar. Appreciate you coming through. Appreciate you.
For sure. Yeah, I was going let me know when you want, man. I'm gonna put that link in the chat. If anybody want to come up and ask some questions, or I wasn't sure if you was finished with you was.
My bad. What you saying?
No, I wasn't sure if you was finished with everything you wanted to. You were saying.
Yeah, I'm good. You can. Yeah, if anybody want to come up, that's what's up.
All right, I'm gonna put the link in there.
Yeah, look at Juju. Yeah.
Theoretically.
Yeah. But that yeah, I don't really get off into the multiverse thing. I'm a little
yeah. Now that's good talk for Marvel, Gary.
Yeah, I don't
for
I
now,
don't
you know what I'm saying? That's the
I know
it's
it's
fringe.
like you said, anything is possible. Anything. It's like it's enough, for me with what we know, as far as what can be proved or whatever. That's enough for me. I'm cool with that. I like to learn about.
When you got the cosmic inflation, and under that theory, it kind of supports the multiverse.
But no, Gary, we already been through that, dog. That's a rabbit hole. and then it's another. That's a rabbit hole inside of a rabbit hole.
A cosmic rabbit hole at that.
Yeah.
Man.
Infinite rabbit hole.
So
Yeah.
But that's what makes it fun. That's what
yeah, I
makes
ain't
it
gonna,
fun.
but
Yeah,
I'd rather deal with what can be proven so far. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather deal with, because that's enough for me.
right.
For me, that's enough. But
When
I
I hear,
ain't mad at you. Knock yourself out with it, dog.
hey Gary, when I hear fringe, I get cringe. I don't, you know what I mean? I
Yeah,
kind of stay
yeah.
away. I mean, I ain't saying that they can't find out that it's a multiverse and it might one day be evidence for it. But as of right now, I think they ain't. It's just a theory right now. I mean,
I don't even know if it's a theory. It's a
my bad, not a
hypothesis,
theory. You're
dog.
right. It's a hypothesis.
Yeah.
My bad. I'm tripping.
Yeah, and I think in this community, so I think in the beginning we decided we'll do things we can prove, because it's always going to be the super pseudo sophisticates out there talking about prove it, prove it, prove it, right? We're not
Mhm.
scientists though, so we only can relay the information. So boy, we be playing safe ball, because
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
we're on the edges of a. I'm gonna be nice. How can I say this real nicely? We are on the brink or the edges of a social community world that is wild. That's as nice as I can get it, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So to keep just on things we can prove, meaning we're communicators. So what things that scientists can prove and we can show that proof is the safe soft spot we got to stay in, or then it becomes something different. Because if Lex Vortex, or I don't know if I be getting them confused, but Sexy Lex and them
Yeah.
other ones, if they hear this, like they gonna jump all over it.
Yeah.
There's gonna be the other universe's consciousness and it's stupid, and yeah,
Yeah.
we can't muddy the waters for them.
Yeah. That's one thing that the pseudo love to play in that area of the unknown, and
Facts.
Yeah.
yeah, they take what we trying to figure out or what might be fringe, and they make it a claim. They make it as if it's already been proven and has evidence behind it. So
Hmm.
that's why we don't really we don't play in that area too much. But I mean, it's fun to talk about, as
Oh
long as we're
yeah.
not making no claims about it. That's it. But I hear you, Gary.
Yeah. I mean, you can find all kind of stuff in these, in these theories and stuff, but only the it's gonna take some observations to back them up. you know.
That's like when we was talking about wormholes and
Yeah.
white holes.
Right.
The
White
opposite of black
holes.
holes was the white holes.
They be jumping on that.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like
Yeah.
pump your
That's crazy.
brakes.
yeah,
Pump your
we
brakes.
had a whole argument, like a week long battle behind that what 2-3 years ago. So,
And peace to you, sis. I'm sorry I'm being so rude. Peace to
what
you.
up, Drew? Yeah, pseudo killer official Juju in the building, everybody. We
I didn't
we
think y'all
talk damn
was.
near every other day, so it's almost like, hey, yeah, what's up, Drew?
Yeah, I didn't think y'all was being rude. You know, but I felt like I wanted to, I like the three horsemen on the panel. I ain't mad at that. Sosa Sosa called y'all the CMB brothers.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's hot. So I ain't mad at it. CMB Cash
Yeah.
Money Brothers. You feel me?
Already.
That's what's up. Um, I think I'll be back, beginning of the year, but yeah, let the brothers have it and get into it. So I'll just be a guest. I'll come on as a guest, I guess. Nah, just life is busy. I've made myself very busy that I'm well and moving about, right? So I'm just working with about 3 nonprofits doing the good work of God.
Oh, indeed. Ain't nothing, ain't nothing wrong with that, man.
Yeah,
Shit,
I
we
got to
can definitely.
trigger Unc. I know he's somewhere listening. But the thing is about it, so if when I'm on Clubhouse, there's only like one room I go in there, maybe two. But there's a professor named Dr. Laird. He's out of New York, and I'll go in his room a couple times. I think I've shared it with a couple people, and I think one of my first questions, because his motto is "There's never any stupid questions. Ask anything." He's an excellent communicator. Super cool. I'm trying to get him on the show. But I have gone in and asked, questions like, so I think it's for fun, where you can do things like, what's your favorite theoretical concept, right? Pose it like that. What's your favorite scientific hypotheses? Like, pose it like that. And then it can be fun, because I have a favorite theoretical concept. It's not real, but theoretically, yeah, I wish it was real. And I think in the future that could come to be, I think it would be amazing, right? And I think in those discussions, it brings out the imagination, but with some scientific inquiry to it. So it's not just mumbo jumbo. You really can envision what the future could look like, especially for generations beyond us. And I think that's pretty cool when you're dealing with like young minds, right? And try to impress those young minds, especially in our communities when we're pushing for our children to go more into like science and technology and engineering, things that we would normally shy away from. So, and it's also ways to make it fun, even for the kids, because, you can make the discussion very fun in that aspect, for the children and play with it. So, I've had those discussions in that class, in that group. However, this is a group full of a whole bunch of super smart, way smarter than me and my pay grade will ever be, mathematicians, astrophysics students, right? So they know better than to say or to jump on certain things. So, we just playing with it, having fun. So it depends on your audience. If you have a mature audience and you can play with ideas like that, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
But we're on the verge of a very immature audience, and once you play with it, it's stuck to our name, and it's stuck to us to uphold the evidence, and we can't do that, right? But yeah, I like to play with theoretical concepts, and we talked about it. And I even learned some stuff. Dyson sphere was my favorite concept, but so something that would be more realistic, I guess, more um, the possibility, if ever, is a Dyson swarm, right? Dyson swarm is a little different. So it takes the Dyson sphere and it breaks it down in these little small drone pieces that harvest the energy from our star, the sun, right? So we have clean energy on the planet. So, it's like having fun conversations like that. And I think that'll be awesome to have a show where we can talk about fascinating, hypotheticals, hypotheses, and some of our favorite theoretical concepts, and how we can see that, you know, in real life in the future.
Yeah. So like you were saying, Juju, yeah, I mean, I realized that the multiverse, isn't an actual proven theory, but it does deal with quantum mechanics and it does deal with string theory, which those two are, real concepts. And so it is fun to talk about stuff like that, or even time travel, just fun topics like that where you're like, you know, there is some basis for it, but you know, no, there's not a way to go back in time that we know of, but like it's fun to talk about it. So
Facts. I agree.
and I just wanted to clear up with Sosa. I think me and Ken are rolling with No Limit, not Cash Money. So we would be like we would. I think we'd be the No Limit boys, not
Nah,
the
Like
the no
TRU.
limit. You'll be the no
yeah
limit CMB boys. Got to put that
yeah
in the microwave background.
yeah. Just gonna clear that up with Sosa.
I
the
know that's
CMB,
right.
the CMB tank dogs, man. You see the
Oh
logo.
my God, y'all.
Hey,
The
well,
tank dogs.
No Limit rolled with that tank, dog. That's what No Limit all about.
Oh my God,
Exactly.
y'all are funny.
Hey, we was talking about the electromagnetic spectrum earlier, that light that we can see.
Mhm.
And you were
Yeah.
saying how the period of time where we couldn't see the stars and when we could. I think you were saying something about the microwaves or
Well,
oh,
yeah. See if you look at this
You
spectrum,
said radio waves, but
radio wave, yeah.
yeah. See that that's that end of the spectrum where you see the microwave and the radio waves. That's the light waves or whatever have been stretched. You know what I'm saying? And you can see it
Mhm.
to almost invisible. We can't use a telescope to look at nothing that's in those ranges. A telescope is only going to help us in the visible spectrum. And that when I say a telescope, I mean like Hubble, um, the little telescopes you buy in the store, personal telescopes and stuff like that. Now, Webb is tuned to look in the infrared. You know what I'm saying? And the laboratory that was created, that was used to get the cosmic microwave background, could detect microwave. You know what I'm saying? And they have radio telescopes as well. Those are really, really huge. The radio telescopes, they're really huge. But that's how we can detect and see all these, phenomenon that's taking place in the early universe, because we have to be able to create tools that can detect these waves. Like I said, if you look at this complete electromagnetic spectrum, look how small the visible spectrum of that is. That's very small. So it's a lot we don't see.
Yeah, that middle that middle rainbow right there, that's all that humans can see. That's the only slither of the light spectrum, of the electromagnetic spectrum that we can see.
That's the visible part of the spectrum. That's what you can see with your eyes, or you can use a mirror, you know what I'm saying, to capture the whatever, but it's coming in the visible spectrum. The gamma rays are the most intense. Those are the rays that comes from those really, really big stars, like the O stars and the B stars, and like pulsars, some kind of like neutron star collisions and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you get the gamma rays, very, very powerful. Those are the rays that'll cut you in half. You know what I'm saying? They'll mess you up pretty bad.
So when
let me give
when a star goes,
hold on, Gary. Let me give a big shout out to Draylon, man. Ms. Lisa said he listening tonight, man. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you, Draylon. Appreciate you.
Go ahead, Gary.
Brother.
I like how you spelled that. I didn't know how to pronounce it, but I can dig that. Draylon, that's cute. That's pretty good. I like that.
No,
like
I was just gonna say when a star goes supernova and collapses in on itself, those jets that they shoot out, they're called gamma ray bursts, and those are like the most powerful thing in the universe.
Yeah, you don't want those.
Even if it was like light years away, if there was a star that went supernova and that gamma ray burst was like pointed in our direction, like we would be toast.
Yeah, instantly. Depending on how close it is. Yeah.
Well, the bad part about it is we wouldn't know we were toast until we were toast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once when we detected it, it'll be too late.
But I think it actually makes more sense. So say like, hold on, we bring this back up. Right. So people, I know when people see the CMB, they think that that's light that we actually can see, that, but that's all around us. That cosmic background radiation. That's like, if you could actually see that light spectrum, you could see that all the way around, like everywhere you look in the sky.
Yeah.
But we couldn't see nothing up until what we talking about now, that reionization.
Yeah.
They just make, they put color on it so we can tell the difference and see what they're talking about. But you literally can't see
color
them.
Pretty much pertain to the temperature differences.
Right.
Because that's how they measure. You know what I'm saying? Based on the temperature.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's just invisible. You can't see none of that.
No, you can't see it. You can't feel it. But like you said, it's all around us. We in it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's everywhere they look in the sky, no matter what direction, they see it, and it's uniform.
I think y'all talked about how they stumbled up on that too, right?
Yeah, we did a show on it
long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah, y'all need to go back through that archive, man. Me and Juju done put in a lot of work.
Oh yeah.
A lot of work.
Might have to start make some shorts too of them. Yeah.
But yeah, that's that's pretty much all I had, man. As far as if anybody got some questions or anything, I'm down for that. But
Oh
as
yeah.
far as this article, that we didn't drug it as far as we could.
True indeed. That's a good one, man. Shoot, we be working with some good time, man. So if anybody out there in the chat, if y'all want to hit the link, y'all got any questions, type it in the chat. Y'all want to come up on the panel, you know what I mean? Come on through. Juju, you how you liking it out there, man? Where you at? You straight?
I'm in Maryland somewhere. Lexington, Maryland. I don't know.
Okay.
Not quite in Baltimore.
You catching any of them museums down there yet, or you just?
No, they're all closed because the government shut
Oh
down.
yeah,
I
damn.
wanted
Yeah,
to
we
go
just said
to.
that yesterday. I'm tripping.
And I may have had like a little bit too much wine last night, so I was so sick last night and today. So I didn't do anything. I'm just trying to. I don't got no hangover, but I'm not a big drinker, so I was super sick.
Hey,
So I'm just drinking
hey,
all water. I'm trying to eat something now. But
plenty of
yeah, I'm just
water.
cool.
Get you some of that. You eat pho or pho?
Yeah, pho.
Get you some pho,
I didn't
man.
think about.
That always some pho and some water gonna bring you right back to life.
Hey,
Okay.
that's my
That
list
you
right
know
there.
what? My goddaughter told me the same thing. She's like, get you some ramen with some of that broth or something. Basically the
Yeah.
same thing. But I had all this darn food from that restaurant, the Dogon. I was like, I'm gonna eat this food.
Oh yeah. There's,
Well, I'm gonna eat this food, but I'm trying to eat this jollof rice and this chicken, and I can't. I can't. So I got some cobbler, and it's nasty to me. So I'm just gonna go back to drinking some water and eat the rest of this boba and go to sleep.
true.
But
Hey,
yeah,
look, yeah, plenty of rest.
we fly out in 2 days. I'm just extremely excited. When I get back, y'all get ready to open your pockets because I gotta we gotta get some donations for the school. Um, I have lots of information on Fati on her school. She's big in Gambia. And also, just by showing what's going on and how they do it, they'll
Mm-hmm.
give people a different perception what they think Gambia is. Because the people are on point with like the technology and everything. They're so on point. And
Word.
yeah, I'm just really excited to be a part of that. So
Yeah, definitely bring. I know you're gonna put the pictures in the Discord, so
you already
we'll
know.
be waiting on that. Hey,
Big do shows. Yeah.
oh yeah, Miss Lisa had a question. She wanted to know, how did the universe become transparent?
Well, this a good analogy I like to use, Miss Lisa, is think about driving and it's really, really foggy. You know how it's fog, you got thick fog you're trying to drive through. And if you turn on your bright lights, how the reflection of your lights on that fog, how it bounce back in your face and it'll blind you sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So they tell you to drive with dim lights in the fog and not your bright lights. Now think about that fog starting to lift. It's now you can see a little bit further and a little bit further after that. You know what I'm saying? It's basically kind of how I understand the process until the fog is all lifted and it's gone. You know what I'm saying? Now you can see the trees, you can see further down the road. You know what I'm saying? That's if that makes sense to you. That's kind of how I make sense out of it, driving through fog.
Mm-hmm. Because it was like, what was the period of time like the universe was opaque? It was like you say, it was foggy, where the
It was
light
that
was bouncing off. It didn't
it couldn't
expand.
break through.
Right, it wouldn't expand it large enough yet for it to
Yeah, it was a
cool
plasma, so it
down.
had to cool off
Right,
for one. And once it cooled off, it turned into a gas.
right.
And now the radiation from those stars or those dwarf galaxies were able to strip the electrons away from those atoms, which produce light. So now the light can get through because it's stripping the electrons. At first, it was so many electrons where they were capturing the light and it put it out. I guess you could say, you know what I'm saying, smother the light out or whatever. is a better analogy.
Mhm.
But once that's what reionization is. Those electrons are being stripped away. And when you do that, a burst of light is produced that we can detect, we can see. So it's basically the radiation kind of, well, added to the expansion and the cooling, made it easier for those photons to penetrate and break free.
Mm-hmm.
So like I say, just think about trying to drive in fog. That's how the light, a vehicle or an object in the fog has to be very close to you for you to be able to see it. You can't see as far down the road when it's foggy than you can on a clear day. So it's kind of like the same thing.
Yeah, I was trying to find out on the on here. So it says like the first 380,000 years, or the universe was opaque for like 380,000 years from the start.
Mm-hmm.
And then once it expanded enough and it cooled down, and like you said, we said the ion stripped from that, and then how you say it again? I don't want to mess it up.
I believe it's the electrons are being stripped away
Okay.
from the atoms,
Right.
which, produces a burst of energy, which is light. We see as light,
Right.
or the photon.
And so that darkness is, well, I guess is what they mean by when it became transparent.
Yeah.
You could see from one side to the other.
Well, you were able to see what was going on.
I mean, not the whole universe, but yeah, you could see.
Yeah, you could. That's when we look back and we see that red shift. We can see early into, right after that that first dark age, that first billion years.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? See, like, okay, the estimated age of the universe is 13.77 billion years. That's the estimated age. Well, like I said, in globular clusters, you got stars that are estimated to be right at 13 billion years. So that's right around that time. You know what I'm saying? And it's those stars in those globular clusters that made up those dwarf galaxies that they're detecting. And it's way more than they were expecting. They were expecting, see, at first they started finding these big galaxies like the Milky Way.
Mm-hmm.
But then the further they looked, they were like, well, damn. and a lot of these dwarf galaxies, man, they had supermassive black holes in them. And those are those quasars that they see, that they measure, that are 13 point whatever billion light years away. You know what I'm saying? So it's those dwarf galaxies that gave us the ability to be able to see what's going on, because they cleared the way. They cleared out all the muck, the plasma, or whatever the case it may be, what was blocking our vision. It was those dwarf galaxies that, cleared the way, cleared it out so we can actually see what's happening. And
Yeah.
Peace to you, Miss Tiffany. Appreciate you coming through.
Shout out to
So-
Miss Tiff.
So Kent, that time period, so between the Big Bang and when the CMB background was shown, that's when the first light was able to be seen. That time between the Big Bang and the CMB background, that was called the era of recombination.
Got you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think I found a picture that kind of can show a little bit of that. I'm gonna pull it up real quick. So like right up in this area right here when the universe was opaque.
Yeah.
Say right up in this.
Well, and then it's the dark ages too. See, the dark ages, we can't see anything. See, that's why I say first light right there. That's the 1st light we could see. You know what I'm saying? Well, we can detect.
Right here, yeah.
Anything before that, we can't see visibly.
Right.
We need, like I said, in order to get the CMB, we had to use, that's not visual light.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's in the microwave part of the spectrum.
Right.
So it took a the Kobe and what was it? Was it the Planck? I think it was the Planck.
Mm-hmm.
And there was another one, WMAP. Those are the 3 different, tools that they used in 3 different stages to get that CMB. And each time it was being refined. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But everything matched up. But it was first detected in the radio waves.
Mm-hmm.
There's these cats, Penzias, and I forgot the other one's name. It was 2 dudes. They got the Nobel Peace Prize for that. They discovered it, but didn't know what it was at first.
Right.
But it was in the radio, and they detected it because they built a big antenna. They worked for Bell Television. Bell Communications Company.
Yeah.
And they were trying to figure out how they can, improve communications here on Earth. Mm-hmm. And they built this big old object. I don't know what you call it. It wasn't a telescope, but
like a I don't even call it a satellite. It was like some that they pointed it. It was like big,
like an antenna, literally.
Yeah, antenna. Yeah.
Or like a big ass horn or something. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy.
Yeah.
But everywhere they pointed it, they got this signal.
And the signal was like.
Oh, so you say they built a galactic speaker or something?
Something like
yeah.
Matter of fact, you could see it when you turn it back in the day when your TV used to be on a channel that it was static. That's that's the signal.
On your radio too.
Yeah.
You know
that noise, that white noise, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
That's the remnants of the Big Bang.
The people who made the signal, they thought it was like bird droppings that were in the speaker, so they were sitting there like cleaning up bird crap all the time because they thought that's what was causing the noise. They didn't know it was the radiation from the noise from the Big Bang.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They had some pigeons started to roost in it, and so they was out there cleaning that up. But still, it didn't matter. Mm-hmm. No matter where they pointed it at in the sky, they picked up this same signal everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Not just one direction; it was everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's the same way with what we see. If you take that picture you got in the background with all them galaxies and you take another part of the sky, you're going to get the same thing. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be the same thing. A whole lot of galaxies. And the redder they are, the farther away they are. So it's very uniform. That CMB is very uniform. But when you, like I say, when you look at this diagram you got up, mm-hmm. that first light is what this article is talking about. Those dwarf galaxies are what's giving us that first light. That mm-hmm. That's as far back as we're able to go in the visible part of the spectrum.
Right. Yeah, I think what throw a lot of people off is because when they see these diagrams, they have colors to represent, certain parts of the timeline, but these colors, like, they literally were like invisible to us. Like, humans can't see this.
Yeah.
So they use it so that we can at least understand, okay, the separation between the dark ages and this stage right here. You know what I'm saying? So that would, and the CMB background, cosmic microwave background, and all that. But just think of it as
tools to get to be able to detect it. We can't see it, but we can detect it.
Mm-hmm.
But it took some tools to get there, and the discovery of the electromagnetic spectrum, that was major, especially to astronomy. That's major because I don't want to sound pseudo when I say this, but the information is in the light. You know what I'm saying? When you analyze the light
gives information.
Yeah, that's where you're gonna get the information from. So don't take that in a pseudo way.
Yeah, y'all,
You know what's hard?
y'all sound pseudo as hell because I know damn well somebody said light is information. It was a pseudo. I think that was
Hey, look,
Lex. They
hey,
definitely said light carries information. Light is the information. It's embedded in
Yeah,
light.
I mean,
you know what
all the
messed
information
up?
is in the light. You know, once we analyze the light,
Yeah.
then we know what we're looking at, and we can understand what it is and
Lord,
how
You know
it
what
formed. And
this
you know
finna
what?
come back and haunt y'all. I'm just
Nah,
telling you.
not at all. Because you know what mess everybody up is because
I'm trolling, but
oh
I
yeah,
can remember distinctly a pseudo was like, "Oh, light carries information. Light is
yeah.
information." I forgot what else.
but I put my disclaimer out there first, Miss Juju. I
I know, I
said
know,
I
I
don't
know.
want
I
to,
just had to
You know,
remind you. It was
Yeah.
and the
funny.
thing is, people, you know,
Yeah.
growing up, you think if you're not, you know, if you didn't grow up in a scientific household or you wasn't really into it like that, people think you open your eyes and look out, right? But they don't realize, no, those are photons bringing back information, and your brain is processing those photons, that light, and telling your brain this is what's over there. So
Yeah, that's a good
literally,
point.
the photon is bringing information to your retina. Your brain is deciphering what it's saying, and
Yeah.
it's giving you the image in your brain. So
Yeah.
that's like once we get past that, then you can understand. Okay, that's the information, the light bringing the information, the galaxies, the stars that we see. That's when they say those stars are millions of years old because it took that photon millions of years to get to your retina. It landed on your retina and processed and your brain processed the information. So like that's a hard concept to understand when you don't if you don't get that light spectrum down pat. If you don't know how that light spectrum or how light travels,
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
that
that
light
takes
travels
steps because you got to understand how the eye works, right? To
the
Yeah.
brain, all of that.
conceive the brain, right? To even conceive what you just said. I think the majority of us get this because in some ways we've covered all the aspects of the subjects we would need to understand what you just said, but it makes perfect sense. Other people would think like, what the hell are you talking about? But
Man,
Yeah.
that's why I love them. That's why I love researching like different subjects. I'm not a master of none of them, but I like
mhm.
to dabble in all of them because all of it tells the whole story. You get a piece
Facts.
from evolution, you get a piece from the astronomy, and a piece from how we evolved and brain work and all that neurology and just all of the sciences come together to tell the whole story. But you need all of it, you know what I'm saying, and put it together. So
Yeah, and one thing that tripped me out when I first learned it was that like there's light that I see from stars, and like the stars aren't even there no more because that's how long it takes for the light to travel to your eye.
yeah, you said, oh yeah.
Yeah. You
So
got a
you could
lot
be
of
looking up at the sky and seeing stars and shit, and and stuff, and they're not even there no more because
Oh
of
yeah,
how far
no,
away they are.
they aren't. It's like look at our closest star, the sun. I mean, most of y'all know, most everybody that listen to us know that the sun is eight light minutes away. So it takes the photon from the sun 8 minutes to get to our retinas. The sun was to blow up, we wouldn't know it until 8 minutes later.
yeah. Yeah.
So it's like when you start to conceive that or
We would
understand
be
that
dead.
concept.
We wouldn't even be surviving, but I get it.
Yeah, it looks like you just looking out and instantly you seeing everything or whatever. Like it's because when you in a room, when you flick on the light switch in your room, that light traveling so fast, it's like it looks like it's instant, but it's not instant. It took time for that light to get from the light bulb in your room to your retina, but it's so fast that and then when you think about how fast light travels,
Yeah.
that's just insanely fast. Yo, that's the fastest thing on the universe.
We don't know of anything faster than a massless particle other than a gravity wave. Gravity
Hey,
wave,
Clint,
they
the good news is the sun's not gonna blow up into a red giant for another 5 billion
Yeah,
years.
we gonna be long gone before that happens.
So
yeah.
we're good.
Yeah, we good.
Humans might not even be around for that.
At the rate we going, we ain't gonna be around here another 1,000 years.
Might be another species of dinosaurs when that happens. I mean,
Yeah, man.
crazy.
It's gonna be crazy.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that cosmos ain't no joke, man. It's like I say, it's enough out there, you know what I'm saying, to get an understanding of that. I mean, just think about, okay, James Webb Space Telescope.
Mm-hmm.
People made careers off of that, dog. You know what I'm saying? It took them over 20 years to get that thing going. That's a whole career. That's so it's a lot going on out there.
Oh
A
yeah.
whole lot. And
Oh yeah.
you know, we need to tap in, man, in this community. We need to tap in.
Yes, indeed. It's definitely interesting. I mean, now I remember somebody told me a while back. It was like, well, do I need to know that in order to survive and eat and put food on? Nah, you don't need to know that. You don't have to know it. But it definitely would. When I was a kid, I had the questions. Just like I'm sure all of y'all probably had questions when y'all was kids. So if you got little ones or you got nieces, nephews, or young ones that look up to you, and they start asking you these things at 5 and 6 years old, like, yo, where did this come from? How did the earth come to be and all of that? Now you know. Now you know what I'm saying? Or at least you have a better answer than what was given probably us.
Yeah.
That's God just put it there and just don't ask no more questions. Stop asking all these goddamn questions. But there
Well,
were
See, that
answers
yeah.
that
all
wasn't
along.
enough for me. My
Go
bad,
ahead.
Ken. What you say?
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying
That-
it was answers there all along, but some of our people wasn't privy to it. People that raised us wasn't privy to it. If I'm speaking for myself, but I
yeah.
don't know if that might have been y'all's
Yeah, you're right.
experience as well.
I have another perspective on it, but go ahead, Anthony.
Nah, I was just gonna say, it's that was never enough for me. I used to
Mm-hmm.
sit out when I was young and look up in the sky and notice a lot of stuff. And like I said, my family was cool with God created everything. They was cool with that. And if
Mm-hmm.
that worked for you, hey, that's fine.
That easy on the brain, yo. You ain't got to think too much.
But
I
it
needed a
doesn't
little
work
bit
for
more than
everybody. It don't
that.
work for everybody. It didn't work for
Nah,
you, Anthony. Definitely
I,
didn't work for me.
I
So,
needed a little more. You
right.
know what I'm
It didn't
saying?
make sense. It didn't make
No, none at all.
That wasn't enough for me. I needed
Right.
a little bit more than that. So
Yes,
that's where I'm at with it. But I ain't mad at you if you there. I ain't mad at you.
right.
You
And
know.
maybe that takes a special person with the special brain. I don't know, but like you, Anthony, like there was always so many unanswered questions. Like my brain was always on 1,000, right?
Yeah.
And even like with the Bible, just like why God hate black people, why God hate women, right? And then to look at nature, I was very much into nature and being outside. So it may not help you put food on the table. However, I think it does help stabilize one's mental and mind to understand the world and the reality around them, right?
right.
So um you can actually envision something that's way more concrete than just God created everything because you've never seen
Mhm.
God. I mean, you
Right.
just taking somebody's word for it versus we have evidence and proof for this, and that within the universe. For me, it helped me to get a grasp on what reality really was.
Mhm.
And I used to have these weird type of nightmares and things like that. And the more I got into science to understand certain concepts, it helped calm my brain from the unknown. Like I know I'm not gonna know everything, but it gave me a better sense and handle on reality. So I think I'm as a human being, I'm more stable because
Yeah.
I know certain things, not just God did it. Well, I might not be having a good relationship with God or that ain't really working for me. I need more than God did it, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, and I think
Like,
that's important. And maybe our children are past the religion thing, and they might need more than that to chew on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
well, I say I'm an advocate for putting it out there and letting them see. You know
Yeah.
what I'm
Oh, they
saying?
definitely
Right.
learning this.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
definitely learning this in school. My son bring home about 2-3 years ago. Even I think middle school, they was learning about evolution and all that. So they're learning these things. But I think the teachers, if they're because
Religious.
I've talked to some
Is
teachers, some people I do that were teachers, and when they got to that subject, they was like, yeah, you know, we got to teach it, but you know, I don't believe in all of that. So when they're teaching it, they're not teaching it with confidence. They're teaching it just
Facts.
as something that they just, and they're telling the student. 'Cause I remember I asked my son, well, "What your teacher say about evolution or whatever, or the Big Bang?" And I think he was like, she was like, yeah, they don't really know or something like that. It was like, yeah, it was some weird shit. So I was like, oh, okay. So the teacher teaching it, but they ain't really, they kind of teaching it to y'all as if it's some alternative explanation for
They're
that.
being biased.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
it's just part of the job. They just it's just part of the job. That's the way they look at it.
Yeah,
You
because they're
know,
not scientists. You know, a lot of them ain't. They just got a degree in something and then they went on to teach.
they
A
Yeah.
teach
lot of them.
because they got to. It's part of the
Yeah.
curriculum.
Right.
Like a nurse ain't a virologist.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Look, I just have to say that. Well, my nurse says she's
Same.
taking the
Yep.
vaccine. That the nurse ain't the doctor, and the doctor ain't a virologist. So I don't care what your nurse said, bro. Yeah,
You
I'm
know,
just
people.
saying.
Yeah.
You got to rely
I
on the
tell,
experts.
I, I
And
I
that's what we teach.
I said this a while back, and I was like, "Damn, I might have to put a quote on. I might have to make that my quote." I said, if the more if you can understand, the more you understand reality, the better you can solve problems more realistically, or
Yeah,
something like
that's
yeah,
that.
a
You know what I'm
T-shirt.
saying? Yeah, that's, you know what I mean. I was like, I got to figure out. I'm gonna word it different, but it's like you can
Put it in
solve.
ChatGPT.
Yeah, we can, exactly.
yeah. That's
We
pretty
can
Let me
dope.
solve
go ahead and
nature's
do that for you
problems
real quick.
already. We can solve nature's problems more realistically. Because think about it, we're dealing with climate change right now. A prayer to God ain't gonna help that. Understanding how nature works helps us to solve those problems. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah,
and the more our kids know, the better the next generation, when they get into these positions in government and scientific fields, they can carry on that work. So, yeah.
yeah. That's major right there, dog. Got
What
to
you
keep
said that
building on it.
you said the
Yeah.
better you can understand reality, the better you can solve life problems.
Yeah, the more realistically you can solve life's problems or problems in the world, some shit like that. I forgot how I said it the first time I said it because it came out so naturally. I was like, damn, that was dope. I was like, did
You
I
should
hear
have
that before?
wrote it down right then, dog.
Hell yeah.
Let me
But
see
yeah,
if
man.
ChatGPT. We got a T-shirt.
Already. Yeah, if anybody else want to come on the panel, man, y'all welcome to. If not, you know, it's all good.
We got peace to you,
Mary,
Mary Shy.
Mary Shy,
Peace to you.
Mary Shy in the
Appreciate you coming
building.
through.
Yeah, Mari Shy is cool.
Mari Shy. Okay.
Mary Shy.
You wanna hear what I got?
Yeah, what you got?
So I got concise variations, reflective philosophical variations, and motivational practical variations. So I had the clearer your grasp of reality, the better you can solve life's problems. Number
Okay,
two, the more accurately you see reality, the more effectively you handle life.
I like that one.
Three, understanding reality deeply is the first step to solving real problems.
Yeah.
Then
Hmm.
four is the better you understand what it is, the better you can deal with what happens. That's pretty dope.
Yeah,
Seeing life as it truly is helps you solve its problems more realistically. So, I'll send this to you, but I'll give you a philosophical one.
true
When you
indeed.
understand reality as it truly is, life's problems become clear paths to solution.
Yeah,
That's bomb.
Yeah, I
Wisdom,
like
be-
that.
wisdom begins in seeing reality clearly. Solutions follow naturally. Oh, that's a
yeah.
banger
Cause
right there.
think about even when we I know this the space show, but even when we talk about the brain show, it's like when you try to understand people, you know, some people that, you know, you just be irritated with, you're like, man, I'm retarded. But then when you actually understand neurology and how the brain work and how the beliefs go and all of that, and you understand how all of these inner workings go, you can deal with people a little better. You know,
Yeah,
even though I still get agitated from time to time with people, but it's like I still go back and think sometimes like, damn, okay, that's a strong belief, you know what I'm saying? And they was indoctrinated, and then, you know, so me coming at them saying, you know, this ain't real, that ain't real, this ain't real. Of course, they first thought is going to be, oh, I'm being attacked.
facts.
The amygdala and all of the other shit. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
yeah, so it's like even with everything, man. Science helps you understand and how to deal with those situations.
Facts. Well, I got a T-shirt for you. I'll send it to you. You can pick. But my last one, understanding reality doesn't just change your mind; it changes your outcomes. That's a
Right.
banger right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one, and that's facts. It's facts. I think the better we have a grasp on reality, I think the better we are mentally and physically, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
So,
Like even when
yes.
it comes to health, what I'm saying? How many times, people that just go through life not even, paying attention to their health and they're just eating certain things and doing whatever and not really looking at the amount or whatever of certain chemicals, this, that, and the third. And then when you talk to like say like people like I got medical advice, so like people on our team like Malcolm, what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
and they can break down to you, you should eat more of this, you do more of that. The more you know, the better you are.
Yeah, but
The better off you are, the better choices you'll make.
yeah, I'm gonna be silly. I don't think science needs to do a research though on how crackheads be living so long because they are the exception to the rule.
I don't know. It might got to do with their diet, man. What do
What
they eat?
diet?
What do they eat? Maybe because they ain't overindulging on things. That might be I don't know.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. My godmama, she's still alive today, and she definitely was out there in the world. But this lady would eat lots of fruit, drink lots of water. She took immaculate care for her. But
Yeah.
she was definitely a
I,
drug addict.
now we definitely know some crackheads that died in their 40s and 50s too,
I
though. So
know, but I don't know none. They all lived to be in their 70s.
I ain't gonna
They
say they
might
were
got some
crackheads.
issues now,
Hmm.
but yeah. And did any of them die of COVID? No, let me stop. I'm just being pseudo now.
The crack made them immune. now we
I just
now we about to go all the way.
So, hey,
they
everybody
finna
around here
get
on crack.
me. I'm just joking. Just joking. Yeah, but I'm finna get that T-shirt for you.
True
Finna make some
indeed.
art for it and everything.
I appreciate that, man. Yes,
Hmm.
indeed.
Great Shore. What is it? Cash Money CMB?
No, no,
No limit. Y'all no
yeah,
limit,
no
right?
limit.
No
Yeah,
limit CMB boys,
yeah.
brothers. Yeah, yeah. Y'all did good.
Yes, indeed.
Three
Yeah,
six,
that's
three six Mafia brothers.
Okay, 3-6 Mafia, No Limit Brothers. Yeah,
yeah.
y'all did that.
Gary got me the other day. He beat me with the 3-6 challenge, man. I didn't think it was possible, yo, but you got me.
He really did. I saw that. You know I was about to go in the chat? I know dang well. Y'all know there's a music chat that is.
Already, yeah, we should have. Yeah, we was caught up
Nah,
in the
I
moment.
ain't say nothing though.
Hey
Or y'all
Kent,
could be the Ghetto Boys CMB. You know what I'm saying?
Already.
I was just happy to be traded out for Sunshine, Kent.
Oh yeah, yeah, man. The Black Caucus congregation.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I was
man.
saying I was saying earlier, I said, dang, Gary catfishing up here looking like a light skinned brother for real.
He do look light skinned.
Mhm.
He do look light
Shoot.
skinned though, yo. But yeah,
Looking
man.
like that Hewitt. What's that guy who sang, what's his name? Howard Hewitt. Looking
Yeah.
like Howard Hewitt with a beard.
Oh man.
Don't let him find out, Gary. Just kidding. I'm
Y'all
just kidding.
crazy. But yeah, that's
I'm
all
gonna
good.
have to take an ancestry test and see what percent I am.
Oh my God.
You got something,
I
man.
bet you I got more Viking ancestors than you. Yeah, that
Mhm.
was right. That was they say, oh, you're connected to 5 Vikings. I said, what?
uh,
Because it's like the bodies they dug up and they do it
mhm.
as 5 Vikings and one medieval Kenyan guy who was half Persian. I said, that's
Uh,
interesting.
well, I
Yeah.
know, I know my mom's full German, so I have, and my dad has German, so I have a lot of German in me.
Mhm.
Okay. Germans can cook though. I think that's like the most seasoned European food is German food. They be cooking though for real.
Hey, you
I
seen
love
the pictures? You seen the pictures in the Discord?
I love some German food, bro.
Yeah,
I
that
just
boy.
can't do the sauerkraut, but everybody else in my family
Mhm.
loves it.
Yeah, Gary throwing down
Uh,
on the grill right
Oh
now.
yeah, Gary B. Oh my God, my mouth be watering. Jesus. but sauerkraut is good for your gut, though. I will tell you that. It's like kimchi.
No,
That
Juju,
stuff is really good for your gut.
that stuff's nasty. Like when my mom made that, I would leave the house because it stank
Stinks.
up the whole house. That is the nastiest smelling stuff for real.
But cabbage
Man,
stinks, though. I
I
love
can't do
cabbage,
it.
but
It's
it
like that
stinks.
kimchi. It smells almost as bad as kimchi.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it's
kimchi,
good. I like
yeah,
kimchi.
kimchi. Wow.
But it's good for your gut, though. That's all I can say, y'all. It's good for you. It's good for you. Your gut would
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah. My girl like that kimchi, man. I was
Yeah,
like, but yeah, man.
yeah, it's fermented.
And we gonna go ahead and head on out, man. Unless y'all got any last words y'all wanna get in real quick.
I'm, I'm just gonna say, like I always say, man, when you're scientifically literate, they can't drag you down to their level and beat you up with experience.
All day.
Right
I would say my quote, but I ain't got it together all the way yet. So whenever I get mine together, I'm gonna start saying mine.
It
I
just,
got you. Let me send this. Let me send this to you so you can practice. Shit, let me just get a quote. I ain't even got no quote.
Already.
Jeez. All right.
You got anything, Juke?
Nah. I'll see y'all in 3 weeks. I'll be on the other
True
side of the world. And yeah.
True
Yeah.
indeed. True indeed.
man,
Shout
that's
out to
what's up.
PKO.
True
You feel
indeed.
me?
You be
Yeah.
careful out there, sis.
Yeah, man. Be safe, man. Hey, carry your strap now.
Man,
Don't
I ain't
let 'em-
finna be walking off nowhere by myself. I ain't finna be with no men's. So I'll be
Alright.
good.
Don't
It's
go
a
no.
girls' school. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You be straight.
That's what's
Yeah,
up.
I mean that school is safe, and we're staying in like a tourist area, like a tourist house. So anywhere you go, it's always different where the tourists stay versus where the regular people stay. And usually they have more police protection or military, however it works there. But we'll get to meet some diplomats. I don't know if it's like the United States ambassador, but that's on our itinerary. So I bought one suit with some sneakers. I don't know, because I was like, who brings heels to Africa for real? Like,
Right.
yeah, but yeah, and I'm just excited, and I'm grateful for the opportunity, and I'll put y'all name on it. So PK, I'm gonna say it like this. PK, we donated 2 computers and a camera to Gay and Gyro Skills Academy. So shout out to PK for that. Yeah, I'm gonna put y'all name on it where my name go. So
We definitely appreciate you for that, yo.
yeah,
Yeah, appreciate that, sis.
yeah.
Hey, Brother Gary, man, you got any words, man?
Yeah, I just want to say thanks for having me on the show, and I'm just glad to be able to contribute to the scientific literacy in the community, and I had fun.
Right
Until
on.
next, until next time.
Indeed.
Yeah.
African power.
What's happening? A well-organized lie. A well-organized lie. Defeats a disorganized truth every time. For who we?
A pseudo gon' die, they saw a pseudo killer, I'm a pseudo killer, intellectual sunsling, hey. I'm a pseudo killer, intellectual sunsling, hey. I'm a pseudo killer, intellectual sunsling, hey. Pseudo gon' die, they saw a pseudo killer, I'm a pseudo killer, intellectual sunsling, hey. I'm a pseudo killer, intellectual sunsling, hey. I'm a pseudo killer, intellectual sunsling. Who do you believe in? People bringing misinformation when that information ain't disinformation, that's disinformation. Gotta know the difference in information, get information. With the pseudo killer army hunting pseudo, cause you gotta train your mind to fight against the pseudo judo. People with the scholarship salute, we give them kudos. But the people with that look of shit, we look and see straight through those like telescope. If you ain't speaking fast, we gotta tell them folks and let them know the truth of. You bringing malinformation to blast, then you the Ku Klux. Like say, don't talk me to death, bro, what the proof of? Good juju chillin', why you wanna go way bad juju up? Shalom boy got the tank in the cut. I'm in Sosa world plotting on the kick though with Kent. Come in Tiffany gave me the pseudo names on the list and said went and got the low. Anthony got him in the scope, Gullah and Gozy. Make sure DNA ain't a problem for them folks, cause a pseudo gon' die, they saw a pseudo killer, I'm a pseudo killer,